Hey you guys, what is up? It's Sarah, writer and storyteller. Today I am here with part 3 from the Consider This series, which is going to help you write better involving tension. So let's get into it. If you are new to this series, you can watch the other videos below. I'll have them all linked. The first part, I forget what it's on. The second part is on establishing authority, and yeah, if any of that sounds interesting to you, please go check it out. My next series, which I am working on filming, is on The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, I believe. So please stay tuned for that. I'm really excited about it. I love The Artist's Way, and I'm going to be doing it as I'm filming it. So I'm going to do week 1 all over again and all that, and go through it with y'all and tell y'all what I'm doing for my artist date, all those kind of things. So stay tuned for that. So number 1, the clock versus the gun. So in the story, he recommends different things as clocks. In his book, I forget what it was, but he uses Scarlett O'Hara as an example in Gone with the Wind, and her waist growing is a example of time passing, and the gun is the thing that projects you to move forward. It's the thing that makes you move. It's the thing that drives the plot. It's the danger. So this could be anything. It could be losing out on love if you're writing a romance, or it could be, I don't know, but you get the point. Like, it's a variety of things. It's kind of about what is driving this person and this character, what is making them go forward. Point 2, recycle objects. So if you have an object in your book that you just find keeps reoccurring, maybe it's crystals, maybe it's a refrigerator, I don't know what it is in your book, but it's an object that just keeps coming up in the story. So the example he uses is The Ring and Heartburn, and this is a Nora Ephron book that I've never read, so I'm having a hard time recalling exactly what he says about it. But essentially, in this story, the ring is really an object of anxiety, and it's an object of a prized possession. So your objects could make your character anxious, so they can make them feel comforted. If they're like a minimalist character, having a lot of stuff around them may make them feel anxious. If they're a person who hoards, having stuff makes them feel comforted. Use your objects strategically, and he says to resolve them beautifully, which I think is kind of an interesting thing, like kind of almost burying and putting your object to bed. So keep that in mind with your objects. I don't know exactly how you could use that in your story, but I feel like recycling objects is a great idea, and having those recurring items that you keep seeing that remind characters of something. Point 3, don't use dialogue to further the plot. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but he is really big on not letting dialogue be the ruling storytelling device in your story, which I think is so true, and I am bad about doing this personally. But let your story carry your story, not the conversations and the dialogue. Make action carry your story, make anxiety carry the story, like make tension, don't make words always. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously you're using words, but don't use like verbal words. Use words to create tension and interest and intrigue. Don't let it solely rely on your dialogue. Point 4, you are not writing an essay. This comes down to a problem when people tell you up front what the story is. You do not need a thesis statement. This is a novel or a short story or a screenplay. It is not an essay. And if it is an essay, well, you came to the wrong video. I'm sorry. There's other great ones on YouTube, I'm sure. But when you are writing a novel, you don't need a thesis statement. You're not trying to argue something. You're not trying to do that. You do not let your writer in on everything up front. You have to give it to them in pieces. So do not try to be preachy and write this thesis statement explaining the purpose of the book. It is a book, and the purpose will be stated somewhere else in the book. You do not need a thesis statement. That's not what this is. Point 5, use denial for suspense. So something he recommends is, the example he uses is The Unsinkable Ship, which was the Titanic, and it's kind of this denial of things that could go wrong. Using denial to create suspense is a great way of showing the characters humanness. They're like, oh yeah, that couldn't happen. So they deny it and they just keep going through life denying these things. So, with that being said, think about what is your character denying that could happen. Maybe the thing they're denying is what's happening. That's a way to drive suspense and drive the story. That's all I have for today. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I hope y'all like the new setup. I worked really hard on it, and I worked really hard on getting the mic to sound good. So I hope this audio really is like just making this greater for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this viewing experience. If you did, let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate y'all watching, and thank you. Please like, share, subscribe, and all the good vibes. Bye guys.